Amira, I want to ask you, next steps, the things that you believe we need to focus on, and really from your own experience, share with us what you would like to tell women here in this room, women who are watching, especially young girls who are looking at starting their careers, building their careers. From your own experience, what is it that you would share with them?
So I think, look, at Metropolis, being in healthcare, we're quite lucky because we already have a pretty good gender balance, right? Like we said, healthcare is pretty high up there. But at Metropolis, we are at about almost 47, 48% women, which is amazing, right? So you literally, and we've managed to create an organization where women across don't feel a gender bias at all. And the way we've done that is not only obviously by having leaders who are representing that, but by making equal opportunity a value system. Often I find in organizations, if there's a guy who's a great performer on financials, all his other behaviors will get ignored, right? Whether it's sexual harassment or whether it's not equal opportunity, he's biased, gender bias or anything else. We've been very clear, your performance is great, but your value system is equally important in the organization, and your value system includes the fact that you will deal with people equally, whether it's of gender, religion, caste, creed, whatever it is, right? And I think that's been a fundamental way to be able to create that no bias in the organization. So, but we still do struggle with enough women at the senior leadership level. So if I look at just the CXO group, unfortunately out of 12, I have only 2 women along with me, which is one of the agenda points which I'm going to give my own organization going forward to say this needs to move closer to a 40 to 50% ratio in the years to come. Just out there for all the women, the only point I want to make is, we've all been so conditioned by society to stay away from risk. Whether it's our fathers, whether it's our brothers, whether it's our husbands, constantly telling us, be safe, come home at this time, don't do this, don't do that. Our whole lives we've heard, avoid this risk. And then suddenly when the woman becomes older, we say, oh, now go out of the house and do field work and, become an entrepreneur and do this. And I mean, you're asking a person who you've conditioned to, have no risk to now suddenly become risk prone. And if you look at women entrepreneurship, it's all about living with uncertainty, or any entrepreneurship. So I think a lot of it has to go back to how we bring up our daughters and stop protecting them in these golden cages and keeping them away from every iota of risk, because that is not life. We have to teach them how to navigate it versus teaching them a way to stay away from it. And to me, I think once we can all learn to embrace risk, we can do anything.
Most certainly can do anything. Rajesh, talk to me about Project Shakti. That is something that you're taking forward also to ensure that you create that pipeline of leaders as well as get women to take the risks that Amira was talking about.
Yeah, Shireen, I've worked in the industry for 30 years now. Every organization has well-intentioned DEI programs. In Cognizant, Shakti program has actually blown me away. It is such a well thought through program. What we are doing with Shakti is we are looking at the entire career path of a woman, even before they start a job, all the way through to leadership. What are the support structures that we need to provide her for her success? At the lowest level, when you're looking at the workforce coming out of colleges, so we have a program called Nurture Her. It is about focusing on women who are in colleges, having aspirations to build a career. What is the guidance you can provide them in various ways? It's about how to deal with objections in the family when you get a job and you have to move away from your home, and everybody says, "So, are you sure you want to move?" What do you do in that situation? To actually helping them understand how to manage personal finance, to a bunch of other things. So Nurture Her is a very important program. Then when they step into the workforce, the first thing that happens is anybody who steps into a workforce for the first time really don't know how to navigate the organization. So we have a bunch of programs which actually focus on that. Then when they move to the managerial cadre, in the beginning levels, how to manage a team, how to negotiate, how to make presentation skills, how to build your own brand. So we have a very good construct around Shakti, and it's a program that we started a year back. We had, of course, a lot of D&I programs, but we have curated this into a group called Shakti, and we have a D&I team which does a phenomenal job of making sure that we're working through it and ensuring that it's actually being effective. So,
well, more Shakti to you and to the team. Hitendra Dave, next steps. you know, we've done a lot of work here at Future Female Forward. What do you see as the ambition from here?
No, I think just I wanted to comment on one or two other things that were spoken about. One is on pay, right? For example, we do disclose by gender. Okay, and India is one of the few countries that has been chosen for that project. So it is possible to, now obviously you have to decide how much to disclose because you can't disclose individual names, but, and there is a checking done when we are deciding our compensation. Is there a trend somewhere? Is there a bias somewhere on this? Either side, by the way.
Right.
Either side, okay, right? So I think that's one, but I think to answer your question, I think, see, this is a multi-decadal journey, right? I mean, let's be proportional in our, you know, if 3 sessions could do it, then, you know, we would all be happily going home. So this is a multi-decadal journey, but I think at least for financial services, which I'm the only representative of here, I really like to think that at most banks, whoever gets selected because he or she is highly talented.
Yeah.
And if they get promoted because they're highly talented. And if they don't, then it's also, you know, I think that phase, at least in financial services, I think of having serious unconscious biases, I think is increasingly more the rear view than the front view mirror or so. But I think, you know, as more and more people like us take the conversations back, as, you know, as this becomes, you know, why gets addressed through, you take a list of companies headed by women or where there's a lot of women directors or there's a senior amount of, and you see their stock price performance and that data is out there, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Right. So that's why the why should be there, I'm sure. But I would like to say that I think, you know, given what's happening in US and things like that, I think this is a subject which will require much more nuanced conversations going forward. You just can't be as black or white as we were, say, 2 years back or so.
Yeah, a nuanced conversation, but also a conversation that cannot retreat into the back rooms, a conversation that must continue to be mainstreamed. Vartika and Prabha, I'm going to give you the closing comments here. You know, Vartika, from your own experience, what's been the biggest learning and what is it that you would like to share with us and with women and with men who are watching, with fathers, husbands, brothers who are watching?
This is quite complicated, you made it, Shireen. But the one thing that I would say is to women at all times, stay focused. Put your targets in, keep the targets in sight always. Believe in yourself, the sky is the limit. There's no, you know, there's nothing second to hard work, discipline, all that. But to continue on that journey in a focused manner and also looking ahead is very important. 5 years down the line, where you want to be, how you want to shape yourself, what kind of enablers, what kind of cross-functional talents you need to accrue to yourself, what kind of networking you need to do. There are so many lists of items, but you have to stay focused. And let me tell you, no one can do it alone. No gender can do it alone. And everybody wants talent on the table. Today, every corporate, private, public, anywhere, all over the world is in transition. Everybody wants to stay relevant all the time, to be up ahead on the curve. So every talent is required on the table, and in that, none of us have done it alone. The men have been part of the growth. I have had mentors who have been men without batting an eyelid. They would send me away single to, you know, remote locations all over the world and never even look and ask whether you will be able to make it or not. So I've had that opportunity and I give that opportunity to others. So it's a journey which is together. We can reach it together. And with the focus of managements all over to put this agenda as an important one. I think we are there, but we need to continue on this path of discussion, debate, getting little things in place as we go along to have that 50% women on boards of all companies.
Well, 50% women on boards of all companies, that is an ambition. That is certainly an aspiration that we hope to take forward. Prabha, I'll give you the closing comment here on the biggest lessons from your own journey that you'd like to leave us with.
So I think, no pressure at all, but I think the two things I'd like to leave with is one, for women in this room and outside to have self-belief, because when you have self-belief, there really isn't a lot that can stop you. And the second would be to ask for help from the men in your life. I wouldn't be sitting here. My daughter is writing ICSE. My husband is at home, and that's why I'm here. So definitely ask for help from the men in your life.
Ask for help, keep the conversation going, lots of confidence, lots of self-belief. Prabha, Rajesh, Hitendra Dave, Vartika Shukla, Rajesh Jujurikar, Amira Shah, and Ashish Dhawan, thank you so much for being here with us today to take this conversation forward. We look forward to hearing more from you with each of your experiences. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all of them.